Wake up. Navigating relationships with narcissists can be like tiptoeing through a minefield. But what if there were a way to turn the tables, to push them out of their comfort zones and uncover the truth beneath the facade? Let's explore 10 questions designed to challenge even the most skilled narcissists. Question number 1. How did you feel the last time you received some tough criticism? What was your gut reaction in that moment? For many narcissists, criticism feels like a personal attack on their ego. It shakes the very foundation of their carefully crafted image of perfection. So, how do they react? You might see defensiveness, denial, or even outright hostility. They're quick to point fingers, deflect blame, or dismiss any criticism as unfounded. On the flip side, some narcissists might take in criticism, but they do it in a way that still feeds their ego. They twist and turn the feedback to fit their own narrative of being superior. Anything negative gets brushed off as irrelevant or just plain wrong. It's all about maintaining that facade of flawlessness without ever really looking in the mirror. Question number 2. What role do boundaries play in your relationships, and how do you respect the boundaries of others? How a narcissist navigates boundaries in relationships can reveal much about their empathy, respect for others, and whether they can keep things healthy. For a narcissist, boundaries are more like inconvenient roadblocks. They've got their own strict set of rules, while disregarding or violating the boundaries of those around them. It's pretty telling, isn't it? Shows you where they really stand on the empathy scale. Question number 3. How do you define success, and what lengths would you go to achieve it? Success, for a narcissist, is often intertwined with notions of power, status, and admiration from others. They may prioritize material possessions, social influence, or career advancement as indicators of success, viewing these achievements as validation of their superiority and worth. But here's where it gets interesting. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty to reach the top. For them, the end always justifies the means. And relationships? Well, they're more like stepping stones on their path to success. Their relentless drive for success may lead them to engage in ruthless competition, stepping on others, or sabotaging their efforts to get ahead. It's like a ruthless game of chess, and they're always a few moves ahead. Question number 4. Can you recall a time when you felt genuinely happy, and what contributed to that feeling? For a narcissist, moments of genuine happiness may be fleeting and often tied to external achievements or validation. So, when they're recalling those rare moments of bliss, it's often about the times they basked in praise, soaked up recognition, or felt the spotlight on them. It's like a shot of adrenaline for their ego. But here's where it gets interesting. That happiness, it's fleeting. They're always on the hunt for more validation, more admiration, more of that sweet ego boost. It's like they're stuck on a never-ending carousel, always seeking but never quite satisfied. By exploring the factors contributing to these positive emotions, you get a peek into their values, their inner motivations, and whether they've got what it takes for genuine happiness. And let me tell you, what you find might just surprise you. Question number 5. How do you view authority figures or those in positions of power? How a narcissist views authority figures can offer insights into their attitudes towards hierarchy, control, and dominance. For starters, they might have a bone to pick with authority figures who dare to challenge their supposed superiority. It's like they see it as a threat to their autonomy, and they're not about to back down. They'll stop at nothing to maintain their sense of control. But here's the twist. Sometimes they cozy up to authority figures who can give them what they crave: validation, protection, opportunities to climb that ladder. Question number 6. Can you recall a time when you genuinely apologized for a mistake? Narcissists often find this question particularly uncomfortable. Their ego, built up over years of self-assurance, shields them from acknowledging any hint of fallibility. When they do toss out an apology, it's like watching a magician perform sleight of hand. It's not about admitting fault. It's about manipulating perceptions, pulling strings to mend broken trust. In many cases, narcissists may struggle to recall instances where they genuinely apologized for a mistake. Asking a narcissist about a time they genuinely said sorry, it's like poking a sleeping dragon. Their ego, big as a house, blocks out any chance of admitting they messed up. Question number 7. What do you believe are the most important qualities for someone to possess in order to earn your respect? Respect for a narcissist is like a currency, but the exchange rate is pretty steep. It's all about finding people who fit into their carefully crafted image of success, power, and control. They admire people who reflect their own achievements or possess traits they wish they had. Sometimes they're after something different: loyalty, obedience, admiration, qualities that make them feel like they're running the show. After all, in their eyes, subservience is the ultimate sign of respect. Question number 8. Do you have any memories from your childhood where you felt like you weren't getting the attention you needed? Childhood neglect can take various forms, including emotional, physical, or psychological neglect. When you ask them about specific instances, get ready for a journey. They might recall moments where they felt like they were screaming into the void, desperate for some kind of emotional lifeline. It could be feeling invisible next to siblings, or like their needs were constantly brushed aside. Maybe it was the inconsistency of their caregivers, leaving them feeling adrift in a sea of uncertainty. The narcissist's emotional response to these instances may range from feelings of hurt, anger, or sadness, but sometimes they've built up walls so high they've become numb to it all. It's a glimpse into the pain that shapes them, molding them into the person they've become. Question number 9. Have you ever been through a tough breakup or betrayal in the past? How did you handle the emotional aftermath, and what did you learn about yourself during that time? In response to this question, a narcissist may describe feelings of anger, sadness, or abandonment that arose in the aftermath of the breakup or betrayal. They often find it challenging to confront their own feelings. Instead, they'll do whatever it takes to avoid the pain, blaming others, making excuses, you name it. But whether they choose to acknowledge it or learn something about themselves in the process, well, that's a whole different story. Question number 10. Imagine you're in a conflict with a coworker who's threatening to reveal your flaws to your boss. How would you handle the situation? This hypothetical scenario presents a challenging situation where the narcissist's reputation and professional standing are at stake. They might consider all sorts of tactics, like discrediting the coworker or undermining their credibility. But it doesn't stop there. They're not afraid to play dirty if it means coming out on top. Spreading rumors, casting doubt, manipulating relationships, it's all fair game in their book. It's like a primal instinct kicking in, protecting their territory at all costs. They'll do whatever it takes to keep their facade intact, even if it means sacrificing others along the way. I hope you found this helpful. If you've encountered narcissists in your own life, share your story in the comments below. Hit subscribe, join our community, and together, let's illuminate the world with the brilliance of understanding. Farewell for now.